Good morning. Welcome to the shed. I'm Jason, and today we're demolishing concrete. Okay, since I have messed this disclaimer up like 8 times already, I'm going to read it to you. Before we get started, I am in no way an expert. Anything I do on this channel should not be considered as advice or instructional in nature. It is merely how I do things, or my curiosity to how the things are or can be done differently. That being said, let's get on to busting out this concrete. So this concrete was poured back in about 1989. This was with the sawmill sat on. It was an old Frick alt. And the mixture, I'm not certain as to what it is. I was told it's the same stuff they use in bridges. It was very resistant to vibration. And I was told that if we ever had to tear it down, we was going to have issues. As the first pier took 3 hours, and it was the same size as this one. As you can see on this pier, we have drilled 10 holes, roughly about 8 inches around from each other. Don't mind this one, the one to the right intersected that bolt that used to hold the carriage track down. So we just moved it off to the side about 2 inches. It's not going to hurt anything. And on this pier, I used a diamond blade saw, and I scored it about 1 inch to 1.25 inches deep. And the thinking is these should break apart in roughly 8-inch cubes. Now normally, if I was to do a project like this, I would just grab the 11, throw a chain around them and jerk them out, throw them in a pile somewhere. But I have another project, be covered in a later video, that I need this rubble for, fill in some ruts and things of that nature. So 3 hours to bust one without cutting it, 20 minutes spent drilling this one, about 40 minutes spent sawing that one. So that time will be added to the demolition time. lights in. So as you can tell, yesterday, got a lot of progress done. The battery in the camera actually went out while I was working on this. So we're about 2 hours total in. This accidentally flipped back over into the hole. I had decided I wasn't going to roll it back over. But since it's here, we're going to leave this part as intact as we can. We're going to take out this. I have also busted off a lot of the flange. It's actually where we had set up the form, and when we poured the concrete it kind of ran out. It was useful for stability while the sawmill was here, but now we'll be running over top of it. It's not really needed. So yeah, I'm going to go get everything started up. We're going to continue busting this. I did drill some holes across the side and some holes down through the top. I think that's when the camera actually cut out, is while I was doing these. And we're going to try to get this down level today. I had to cut it off early yesterday, right after the camera battery died as well. When I finished this up, had some things to do with the family, have some more things to do with the family this afternoon. So we're going to put in about an hour more, maybe an hour and a half. We're going to try to finish this up. And I think with that pier, I'm actually going to drill some holes crossways, and I'm going to break it off and lay it down flat. We'll actually videotape doing that, and leave this bottom part in the ground. As you can see, the tractor had issues tipping this over. It's only a Ferguson TO30, 30 horsepower at the crank, I think maybe 28 on the drawbar. And these weigh a lot more than you think they do. I can pull a 2-bottom plow with that thing, no problem. And it doesn't even struggle. It doesn't hardly grunt. And this really gave it a run for its money yesterday. So let's get going. So here we have it, guys. I just looked at the phone when I went and turned the generator off. 2 hours and 57 minutes. I was gonna say 3 hours. Time saved. Don't look like it really saved a whole lot of time. However, we'll take a picture in just a second, but the hole that this pier was in doesn't have to be refilled with gravel or rubble or anything else. So I can just put the gravel down on the floor of the shed and cover it up, and we're good to go. I did get a bunch of 8-inch cubes, roughly 8-inch cubes, that I can use for other projects that we'll see later on. I'm going to change the experiment up a little bit. On the pier that I'm sitting on right now, I'm filming this. We're going to drill the holes at the base of it, and I'm going to take the jackhammer and come in at each side, and I'm going to break the part that's sticking up off and lay it over. I think that will save a lot of time. So even though this one may come out being done a little bit faster, it's going to really have to be substantial to beat the holes being drilled. They just once I get it down flat, I mean, I'm going through a 3-foot long layer in about 10 minutes, 18 minutes for 2 rows. So that averages at about 9. That's going to be hard to beat, especially since I can drill them so much faster than I can cut them with a saw. So I got to go do some things with the kids. Got sports and different things, and we've got weather moving in. I want to get everything cleaned up, get it back in the little shed, and I may spend the next couple of days. We'll be filming something pretty cool for you. Some of y'all might like it, some of you may not, but it's something that isn't done much anymore. But yeah, next good day we'll hit pier number 3. Okay guys, took about 14-15 minutes to get that first row done, so definitely longer than the 10 minutes on the drill. Plus it took twice as long to score it instead of drilling the holes. I don't look for the score to go as fast as the drill. As you'll see in that video, the bottom slid back into the hole, so I want to approach this a little differently. I'm going to go ahead and hammer off the bottom drilled row. And I drilled the bottom row because I couldn't get the saw down there to score it, and I had to. The drill was my only option. So, to knock that off, I don't know if I'll actually record any more of Pier 3 until I'm done and just give you the times at the end. I'm running out of time here. I got a couple of days off, and I want to get this knocked out. and the videoing is taking longer than the work is actually taking. So I'll see you when Pier 3 is done, and we'll discuss it and move on to the next one. Okay, guys, so here's pier number 3. 1, 2, that's 3. This base right here will go back down into the hole. You can see I knocked the flange off of it. That's included in the jackhammering time. It actually just took me 5 minutes to knock that off. And once you got it down and you can break this line, these long lines going across here, making them into individual blocks takes a minute, minute and a half each. I mean, it just, as soon as you set your jackhammer up there and kind of get yourself in a comfortable position to run the thing, you're through it. You got to reposition and start again. So those two down there next to on the other side of the log splitter there, they'll be the next two. This one is going to be a little difficult. As you can see, I got one of the big ones here. They got some lumber stacked on now. So I can only get to one side of this one. And I've got a conveyor support that is probably going to be included in the expanding grout video. That'll be later. Okay guys, so this is pier number 4. This is basically redoing the number 2 pier. 15 holes, 47 minutes to drill. Okay guys, so that was 47 minutes to drill everything and 21 minutes to hammer everything out. So about 68 minutes, just say an hour and 10 minutes. A lot faster than the 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 45 minutes. Can't remember. I have to go back in the video to see the actual time on the scoring on the pier before, and this one was just the drilling only. I did notice on the drilling, when we were drilling all the way through, everything breaks a lot cleaner as well. So not only is it faster, I get a lot cleaner breaks, and the jackhammer doesn't bounce around as much. It stays put a lot more. So that's something else, another advantage to think of. My back doesn't hurt nearly as bad as it did yesterday trying to work on the pier with the scoring it and having to, strain against the hammer to keep it in the groove and everything, where when I would walk it back and forth between the drilled holes, it just made its own little channel and just sat there a lot better. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time under the shed.